Space is no longer just the domain of governments and flags. It's not just the realm of black and white broadcasts, Cold War rivalries, or engineers in white shirts behind blinking consoles. That era brought us the moon landing, the space shuttle, and the International Space Station. But in the 21st century, a new chapter has begun, and it's not being written by NASA alone. This time, it's entrepreneurs, engineers, and dreamers driving the next leap forward. One of them is Jeff Bezos, and his company, Blue Origin, is not just launching rockets. It's rethinking what it means to go to space at all. In 2000, while the world was focused on dot-com bubbles and digital futures, a small company began operations in secret in Kent, Washington. There was no press release, no launch date, no prototype on display, just a motto, Gradatim ferociter, Latin for step by step, ferociously. That company was Blue Origin. Jeff Bezos, fresh off building Amazon into an e-commerce empire, turned his attention skyward. He had read science fiction growing up. He had devoured the visions of Gerard K. O'Neill, of humans living in vast, rotating space habitats. But Bezos wasn't just indulging nostalgia. He was laying groundwork for a civilization beyond Earth. For decades, rockets were single-use machines, designed to fall away in stages, burn up in the atmosphere, or crash into the sea. Imagine building a new airplane for every flight. That's what space travel was. It was costly, unsustainable, and slow. That's why only a few countries could afford to do it. Bezos and Blue Origin believed there was a better way. Reusability wasn't just a feature. It was the foundation. If spaceflight was going to scale, if we were going to colonize the moon, mine asteroids, or build off-world habitats, rockets would need to behave more like commercial airliners. Used, landed, maintained, reflown. Each flight would teach the system how to improve, and each reuse would chip away at the cost until the edge of space was no longer a high frontier, but the start of a supply chain. The world first saw Blue Origin's ambition in physical form with New Shepard, a suborbital rocket designed for space tourism, scientific research, and, most importantly, vertical reuse. Named after Alan Shepard, the first American in space, New Shepard was built for repeatable suborbital flights. It didn't aim for orbit, not yet, but for a perfect arc above the Kármán line, the boundary between atmosphere and space, and back. In 2015, a breakthrough came. On November 23rd, New Shepard launched, separated from its capsule, and, for the first time in history, returned to Earth vertically, landing upright with near-perfect precision. No parachutes, no crash zones, just software, throttle control, and a carefully managed column of fire. It was a quiet moment. No astronauts on board, no cheering crowds. But in that moment, the world changed. What seems simple, a rocket launching and then landing, is a ballet of physics. The New Shepard booster must travel at Mach 3, rise past 100 kilometers, separate from its capsule, flip itself around, stabilize its descent, throttle its B-3 engine with extraordinary control, and land precisely on a flat pad in the desert. All of this happens autonomously. No human pilots, just code, sensors, and split-second calculations. Landing vertically isn't just about fuel. It's about balance. The rocket behaves like an inverted broomstick. Only this broomstick weighs 15 tons and is falling from space. Each successful flight and recovery was not just a triumph of mechanics, but a lesson in repeatability. And with each reuse, Blue Origin proved that a new kind of spaceflight, flexible, affordable, and sustainable, was truly possible. Blue Origin wasn't just building a vehicle. it was building an experience. The New Shepard capsule is designed for 6 passengers, with the largest windows ever flown in space. Strapped in, you don't just feel the G-forces, you see the curve of Earth, the blackness of space, and the thin blue layer of atmosphere that shields our world. In 2021, New Shepard began carrying humans. Among them were Jeff Bezos himself. Aviation pioneer Wally Funk denied her shot at space in the 1960s, and Star Trek's William Shatner, who described the view as deeply emotional and almost spiritual. This was more than a technical feat, it was symbolic. Space was no longer a place for test pilots and military men. It was becoming accessible, personal, even poetic. But suborbital hops were just the beginning. Blue Origin's orbital vehicle, New Glenn, is the next step in scaling access to space. Named after John Glenn, the first American to orbit Earth, New Glenn is a heavy-lift rocket designed to carry payloads to orbit and beyond. At 95 meters tall, it's taller than the Statue of Liberty and powerful enough to compete with the largest rockets on Earth. Its first stage will be reusable, just like New Shepard, and land on a drone ship at sea. Powered by 7B, 4 engines using liquefied natural gas, New Glenn is built for commercial launches, satellite constellations, and lunar cargo delivery. And it's designed to fly dozens, perhaps hundreds, of times. Though its launch has been delayed, its construction continues. At the Cape Canaveral facility, the massive rocket factory stretches half a mile long. Quiet now, but it's not empty. It's preparing for the next phase of orbital competition. Blue Origin isn't just looking up, it's looking back to the moon. Through NASA's Artemis program, Blue Origin has proposed Blue Moon, a family of lunar landers designed to deliver payloads and people to the moon's surface. Their human landing system, chosen for NASA's Artemis V mission, will carry astronauts from lunar orbit to the moon and back. It's a critical piece of NASA's return to the moon and the creation of a sustainable lunar base. The plan? Build a transportation network in space. Land, refuel, relive the Apollo era, and then go beyond it. In this vision, the moon is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a permanent human presence off Earth. Behind every rocket is an engine, and Blue Origin's engines are quietly becoming a pillar of modern space infrastructure. The B-3 powers New Shepard. The B-4, one of the most powerful methane engines ever built, will power both New Glenn and United Launch Alliance's Vulcan Centaur, making it a critical component in both government and private launches. Unlike older engines that use kerosene, the B-4 uses liquid methane, a fuel that burns cleaner, offers deep throttle capability, and could one day be sourced from the Martian surface. Each innovation is strategic. Each design choice looks not just at the next flight, but the next century. For Jeff Bezos, reusable rockets aren't the destination. They're the infrastructure. The goal is not just to explore space, but to build in it, to shift heavy industry off Earth, to preserve the planet for future generations, to make space a place of opportunity, not escape. Bezos imagines O'Neill cylinders, vast, rotating space habitats where millions of people live and work, cities in orbit, industry among the asteroids, Earth as a green zone, protected and peaceful. And to get there, you need rockets that don't burn out and crash. You need tools that return, refuel, and fly again. You need a revolution, step by step. Some revolutions happen in bursts, in explosions, in chaos. Others happen gently, with landing legs deployed, with engines throttling down, with dust blowing softly across a desert pad. Blue Origin's reusable rockets are not the flashiest. They're not always the first, but they represent something profound, a shift in how we view space. Not as a one-way trip, but as a place we can return to.